guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is Thursday, so that means we are talking about Turner syndrome. So for this week's Turner syndrome video, I actually want to talk about something that I've mentioned but I haven't done a whole video on, and that is the neck surgery. So if you don't know, webbing of the neck is very common for girls with Turner syndrome. I think because of the fluid retention, that's the only thing I know of with Turner syndrome that would cause it. So if you don't have severe fluid retention in utero, you're not going to have very severe or very obvious, or maybe any, webbing of the neck. For me, I had pretty severe fluid retention, but I actually did not have very severe webbing of the neck. There was a little bit of extra just loose skin, and that was it. But I did have neck surgery. I actually had 2 neck surgeries, and my parents actually got offered to do it on me when I was like a baby, like very, very little. The doctors asked if they wanted to do it, and my mom was like, you know, I don't even really notice it, so I don't want to do it. Like, if she wants to when she's older, that's totally fine, but I don't even notice it, so I don't feel the need to put her through that right now. And so we waited. She waited. They waited. My parents didn't do it then, and they never actually pushed for it. I did. I remember in middle school, I started getting more aware, because at that point in middle school, I was like 13. I had known I had Turner syndrome for like 3.5 years at that point, and I started noticing the differences in my body, and I think I had even Googled it, which is a horrible idea, but I did it, and I started picking myself apart, and I noticed my neck. It wasn't super obvious. In fact, this probably made it more obvious than that was, which makes it sound really silly, but at the time, I was very, very hopeful that I could have the surgery and my neck wouldn't be so, I guess, wide is the right answer, because it was just the loose skin right here on the side, and it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't super severe. The way I went about it was I told my parents that I really wanted to at least look into it, and my mom was hesitant, but she let me do it. She let me look into it. She went with me. We talked about it, and the doctor gave me some information to look over. I got information on like 3 different variations of neck surgery for this. Basically, it's plastic surgery. And the goal is to just pull the skin on the neck tighter. Now, there was 3 different variations, but each had their own thing, their own downfall, whether it be you couldn't pull it as tight so you didn't get as good of a result, or whether it be the scarring was a little harder to deal with, or there would be more scarring, harder healing, just more of an intense surgery, stuff like that. And there was the struggle with insurance for it. But there wasn't this huge backlash, but there was, my plastic surgeon that did it had to do a little bit of pushing and challenge the insurance company and say this isn't cosmetic. Like, this was a pre-existing condition. This is not purely cosmetic. And when he said that, there was no problem. And they said, yeah, okay. And they covered it. Thankfully, they covered it. So I had 2. And I had the same version of the surgery both times. It was just doing it again the second time to get it even tighter. Since then, I've gained weight, and any skin there now is more from me being chubby, not the excess skin. So it would go down with me losing weight, whereas if I hadn't had that, it wouldn't. it was there when I was very skinny. So anyways, rabbit trail over. I had 2 options that I was seriously considering. The third wasn't as appealing to me. It didn't seem like it would work as well. And I ended up going with what's called a Z-Plasty. So a Z-Plasty is basically where they cut in the form of a Z in order to take out some of the skin and like puzzle piece those back together when they do that, when they do the surgery. So they take out a section and they puzzle piece it back together. They pull the skin tighter, they just fit like that with the Z. My scars are really bad right now. They're very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of scar tissue. There's a lot of built up scar tissue, and I'm actually trying to decide and trying to figure out if I can do anything about it or what I want to do about it if I can. I'm seriously considering looking into doing something about it. There is such a huge amount of scar tissue there that's built up now because they had me do steroid shots into the scars after I had healed from surgery. Not to brag on myself, but I'm a really good patient and it sucked. They do the steroid shots, and not only, if you're squeamish at all, not that things I've already said in this video might not be a little hard for you, but just skip ahead like a minute because I'm gonna describe something that you might not enjoy. So, to do the steroid shots, they not only do steroid injections, which in and of itself is not pleasant because it burns really badly when it goes in, and I was lightheaded sometimes after it, especially towards the end after I built up doing it a few times. That part never got easier. But not only did they do the injections, but they had to move the needle around. So they would do one side, then pull the needle out a little bit, not even all the way out, and shift it to the other side and stick it in. And oh gosh, it was so not fun. That was, I think, the hardest thing I've dealt with for any kind of doctor's appointments in my life. That was the most unpleasant medical thing I've dealt with my entire life, was those steroid injections. And I mean, I get that it really did help the scarring go flat, and that was the whole point of the steroid injections, was to help the scarring go flat. I'm really not sure of the science, but whatever it does, it helps that. But after I stopped doing it, the scarring just grew. Like, I didn't finish out as long as he wanted me to do it for, but I did quite a few appointments. I did, like, I want to say 3 to 5 times, at least 3 times, if not 4 or 5, of sessions of going and having the steroid injections done. And I mean, it worked, but then after I stopped, like I didn't go back. I don't remember why I didn't go back, how I got away with not going back, because my mom was very good about getting me to go, but for however I did it, I ended up stopping going for those earlier than he wanted me to. The scar tissue started growing. Like, it got to where it's very built up there, and that makes it harder to deal with the results. But I would not take it back because I can try things to fix the scarring. The surgery was the only thing I could do for the extra skin or for the loose skin. For the scarring, I have things I can try. I have different, like, they have the gel, the scar away gel things that I could try. I could go to a doctor and ask them to try stuff, whether it be more steroid injections or some other newfangled thing that they've come up with to take care of scarring. I could try a lot of different things to at least attempt getting those down. The surgery was my only option as far as the shape of my neck and the loose skin. So I don't regret doing the surgeries. I had the first one and he said, we'll do a second one. And then after the second one, which they were 4 years apart, I was 16 when I had the first one, I was 20 when I had the second one. After the second one, he said, we can't do anymore. You can't have it again. I pulled it really, really tight, so no more. And I haven't wanted to do a second one. I thought what he did was great. I thought it looked fine. And I would not do a second surgery or a third surgery at all. it was difficult, and the healing was not, I mean, it wasn't, it was actually easier healing from that than from my knee surgery. It was still, I mean, it's still healing from a pretty intense surgery. So, I mean, it's not like it was my favorite activity to do, although doctors were cute, which helped, or one of the doctors was cute, which helped. But my best advice would be get yourself educated about your options if you really are considering it. Know your pros and cons. How much of a difference in your life is this really going to make? I know my neck has so much more mobility than I had before surgery. Like, so much more mobility. There was an increase after the first one and like night and day after the second one as far as how much I could turn my neck and how much mobility I had, and it was amazing. I was really, really just so pleased with that. So weigh your pros and cons. How severe is the webbing of the neck? How much would it really help? Cost-wise, what's insurance gonna help you with? Stuff like that. And make the best decision for you that you can. I will be in the comments if anybody is considering it and has any questions, or if you have anything about it you would like to see me address in another video. Leave that below as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with everybody. Make sure you're subscribed. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye!